Good evening, you're watching News Today at 9 p.m. I'm Preeti Choudhry. Our big talking points this Tuesday evening. Well, the parliament is still under siege, viewers. Soros versus Adani issue has hijacked the winter session. It's BJP versus Congress. What's going to come of that? That's our big talking point today. Also, the fault lines emerging within the India alliance. Is consensus building on one part of the India bloc over Mamata Banerjee heading the India coalition? Sharad Pawar meeting Arvind Kejriwal right now as I speak. What's going on there? Anything to do with Mamata Banerjee? We're going to find out. And lastly, the tragic suicide of an IT professional has sparked the debate for a relook on India's divorce laws. All of that coming up. First up, let me take you through the headlines. Chorus grows for Mamata Banerjee as the India bloc chief. RJD's Lalu Yadav backs Mamata. Sharad Pawar and Kejriwal meet. Sources say it's to discuss India leadership and other issues. India bloc moves no confidence motion against Rajya Sabha chairman Jagdeep Dhankhar. Opposition accuses him of being biased. Centre calls it a bid by Congress to divert attention from Soros issue. Adani-Soros storm rages on in Parliament. JP Nadda says Congress must clarify its links with Soros. Priyanka Gandhi calls charges ridiculous. Congress continues to protest on Adani issue. Uddhav Sena versus Congress over Belgavi. Aditya Thackeray demands union territory status. Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah calls it all childish. Election Commission rejects faulty EVM charge in Maharashtra, says no discrepancies found in VVPAT counting machines. Bangalore techie's death by suicide triggers debate on divorce laws. Atul Subhash accused wife of harassment. Cops book wife and her family members for abetment to suicide. Deadly bus accident in Mumbai's Kurla, 7 killed, nearly 50 grievously injured. Bus driver sent to police custody until 21st December. Allahabad High Court judge in the dock. Supreme Court takes cognizance of Justice Shankar Yadav's hate speech. Seeks details from Allahabad High Court. Hindu group staged protest outside Bangladesh High Commission in Delhi. Urges Yunus government to end attacks on Hindu. All right, let me quickly get you the news break coming in from right outside Arvind Kejriwal's residence. Crucial meet is on between Sharad Pawar and Arvind Kejriwal in the national capital. Sharad Pawar has met Arvind Kejriwal at his Delhi residence. Now, sources do indicate and tell us that this Pawar-Kejriwal meet is to also discuss largely India leadership issues and focus on the India alliance. Sources suggest India bloc leadership to be discussed. The meet comes amidst clamour for Mamata. So what's really going on where this meeting between Sharad Pawar and Arvind Kejriwal is concerned? To remind you viewers, Sharad Pawar has already publicly stated that Mamata Banerjee, a national leader, could very well be the perfect choice to head the India alliance. Arvind Kejriwal's fondness for Mamata Banerjee is quite known. Will he also put his seal of approval on Mamata Banerjee? And does it somewhere down the line isolate the Congress? What's really going on right now where this meeting is concerned? Sharad Pawar locked in conversation with Arvind Kejriwal. Let's take you right now to Firozshah Road. That is where Arvind Kejriwal currently stays. And joining me from there is my colleague Amit Bhardwaj, joining us live. Amit, what are your sources telling you? What's on the table? What's up for discussion?
One quick update, Preeti. You know, the meeting is happening at Sharad Pawar's residence at 6 Janpath Road, where Arvind Kejriwal has come along with Sanjay Singh. Very interestingly, two more leaders are out here. Abhishek Manu Singhvi, famous lawyer, also the MP from Congress party, and Gurdeep Sappal. Now, possibly whether they are part of this meeting between Arvind Kejriwal and Sharad Pawar, that looks like highly unlikely, but maybe two different meetings on cards. So what we are given to understand through our sources is that Arvind Kejriwal and Sharad Pawar are likely to discuss the issues which are impacting India alliance, and in most likelihood they will be also discussing the issue of leadership among other issues. And this comes in the background of the chorus which is growing loud around Mamata Banerjee's leadership, or she taking over the India Alliance's leadership. Number two, what we are given to understand that Mr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi could be discussing EVM and election procedure issue with Sharad Pawar, the NCP SP chief. And the bigger question now remains as to why and what is the agenda of Gurdeep Sappal, the Congress leader, who is also at Mr. Pawar's residence right now.
The possibility of an alliance discussion between the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party, because that has been laid to rest earlier itself, that there is going to be no alliance.
Preeti, as far as Delhi alliance is concerned between Aam Aadmi Party and Congress, it's a big no till date. We can certainly say that because Arvind Kejriwal and Aam Aadmi Party have, without mincing any words, made it very clear that they want to go solo in Delhi elections. They believe that they are going to, win the elections on their own, and even the Muslim vote bank remains intact with Aam Aadmi Party. So possibly no discussion on alliance, but yes, there's a bigger question as to what is Mr. Gurdeep Sappal's agenda, whether it will be part of that EVM
well,
meeting.
Murmurs coming in, maybe not a pre-poll alliance, but a possibility of a post-poll alliance being discussed, because that would serve both the parties well. Appreciate, Amit, for you joining us. Thank you there. Let's quickly now cut across, because there's a lot going on, viewers, especially where the fault lines of the India alliance is concerned. And it's all of that come head rolling after the verdict in Maharashtra and Haryana, where the Congress fared abysmally on one-on-one fights with the Bharatiya Janata Party. Something which started off with one or two MPs in Parliament of the TMC suggesting that possibly the best bet to head the India alliance would be Mamata Banerjee. After that, it was Mamata Banerjee who herself reiterated the same. And then it snowballed with many India alliance partners coming out and putting their seal on approval as Mamata as for heading the India alliance. Sharad Pawar, you have Lalu Yadav, you have Uddhav Thackeray, all of them suggesting that Mamata Banerjee could be the best bet to lead the alliance from here on. Does it isolate the Congress? Number one. Number two, can the TMC, which doesn't have a footprint beyond the state of West Bengal, is not even a national party, viewers, TMC lost national party status this year, should it head the alliance? And ultimately, is Mamata Banerjee looking to carve out a possible third front that could benefit both the BJP and the TMC? Let's take these questions to Rajya Sabha MP Sushmita Dev, who's joining us from the TMC. Ms. Dev, appreciate you joining us. Number one, are you of the opinion, Ms. Dev, that Mamata Banerjee is the ideal candidate to head the India alliance here on, and why?
I think anybody who has proved herself or himself as a force to reckon with against the BJP is who people want at the helm of affairs. Remember that the beginning of the India alliance was to make sure that votes are not divided so that the NDA can be defeated. NDA was also an alliance and India was also an alliance. So I don't think there was a difference in their, definition as such as an alliance. So the alliance was made to defeat the BJP. Now, how does Honorable Chief Minister's name come up in this? She was categorical in saying that if the Congress cannot run it or the people at the helm of affairs can't run it, she's very happy to learn it. But she also put a small caveat there that Bengal is headed towards election and she will have to focus there. What does that mean? Now, you talked about the fact that Trinamool Congress is not a national party. I heard you say that, and you said we don't have a footprint outside Bengal. Fair enough. But in a number game, what matters is the strike rate. How many seats are you contesting and how many seats are you winning? Now, for instance, the left has a national party status, as you know, but clearly the number of seats Trinamool Congress has is higher than the left, as you know. So sometimes when it comes to the number game, which is the crux of every democracy and the way a government is formed in a democratic country, number is important. Secondly, Mamata Banerjee continues to win despite the media being against her, despite the fake news against her, despite the BJP's communal agenda in Bengal. These are the three key things that the BJP uses to defeat the Congress. And Mamata Banerjee has defeated BJP despite that. So let me put it in perspective. All of you have been asking a question, is India alliance divided? No, absolutely not. India alliance is not divided. But we are obviously looking at the situation where who has a better strike rate. Now, one important figure is after the BJP, the largest number of MPs are with the Congress party, and we cannot deny that. But the third largest party, when you look at the number of seats in Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, are with the Trinamool Congress.
Okay.
And one has to pay heed to the fact that Mamata's strategy, the way she's managed the organization, narrative, and the politics of Bengal, she sort of pioneered the formula to defeat BJP.
But, okay, Ms. Dev, you pointed out that numbers matter. Let me give you another statistic, and I would reckon that would matter on the party which should be chosen to head the alliance that you're part of, and that is the vote share. 2024 vote share, the Congress now stands at a 22.34% out of, the entire chunk of the India alliance, where the TMC is concerned, falls short of the 10% mark. So that's a huge divide to want to contend with.
See, I'll tell you what, seat sharing is a separate issue, Preeti, and who should lead the alliance vis-a-vis strategy, vis-a-vis how to fight it, vis-a-vis how the seat sharing should be done is a separate issue.
We're talking about vote share, not seat share. Vote share, 22.4% vote share in Lok Sabha.
Let me put it on record, and I'm not going to mince my words. Congress is the party with the second largest share. I and my party accede to that. Number two, Congress contests across the country, somewhere sharing seats and somewhere directly fighting with the BJP. We have absolutely no way of denying that. We bow to that. But the fact is that the alliance was formed to strategize against defeating the BJP.
Okay.
And if someone has pioneered it, it's Mamata Banerjee. And that's her.
Okay, Ms. Dev, allow me to ask you this question then. Why does the TMC feel that the Congress has let you down and is incapable, inept, whatever word you might want to use, to lead this alliance?
You answered the question.
I'm asking you.
Yeah, I find my answer in your submissions that a party with the largest vote share, a party which contests on the largest number of seats in this country, if they cannot successfully defeat the BJP, then we have a problem there. So, within the alliance, with everybody's consensus, after a thorough democratic and an open-minded discussion, there is no harm in actually sending that message out that India alliance is being led by someone who knows how to defeat the BJP. It may actually inject more life into the India alliance.
Sushmita Dev, what do you make of those, and there are many political analysts who suggest that this is all a sinister understanding between the TMC and the BJP, that the TMC forms a possible third front, isolate the Congress, which suits both the TMC as well as the Bharatiya Janata Party.
If anybody follows Mamata Banerjee's politics, if anybody follows Bengal's politics, if Mamata compromises with BJP, her politics is over. So anybody who poses that question or makes that supposition is either purely daft or has absolutely no political IQ. She is the biggest challenger to Modi, Shah and the BJP in the nation. And I'm proud to say that.
All right, so you're suggesting it should be Mamata Banerjee. If the alliance partners all come in together, you want, or the TMC would rather want Mamata Banerjee to head this alliance, correct?
Yeah, and Let me put it on record that Mamata said that there is going to be no decision without a consensus within the India alliance.
Well, that seemingly is happening. Ms. Dev, that seemingly is happening. So let me ask the question which will lead me to our debate next, and I'm going to, let you go, which is, So is that the reason why the TMC has steered clear of the Congress where the Parliament is concerned? Be it on the Adani issue, every time they protest, you've not quite attended it. You've made a clear distinction that you are not standing with the Congress in Parliament.
The answer to that is also in your submission. Mamata gets her seats from Bengal. Mamata defeats BJP in Bengal. And on what issues? She fights the BJP on unemployment, inflation, on deprivation of Bengal. So she wants to raise those issues which impact the common man.
So Adani is not important to the TMC, correct? You don't want a JPC on it?
Any kind of corrupt practices Trinamool Congress opposes, but there has to be a balancing of issues that impact the people.
Ms. Dev, is the TMC in favor of a JPC on Adani, which the Congress wants?
We feel, if you look at the past precedents, JPCs have never really been very effective, Preeti. So that's the reason we feel we need something tougher and harsher to come down on the BJP.
All right, Ms. Deva, I appreciate
Thank you so much.
I appreciate you joining us. Thank you. You did give us a news point. TMC very keen now. If the India Alliance partners come in and want Mamata Banerjee to head the India Alliance, the TMC is ready to take on that responsibility. Where does that leave the Congress is a big question. Let's move on now to our next debate, and to set it up is what's going on in Parliament, viewers. The Adani-Soros storm has practically paralyzed the winter session.
Please be seated, please.
The face-off between Narendra Modi government and opposition reaches breaking point. The India bloc on Tuesday dragged the Rajya Sabha chairperson into the conflict, moving a no-confidence motion against him, the first time in Parliament history. The opposition is accusing Jagdeep Dhankhar of bias.
सारे इंडिया पार्टी सभी ने हस्ताक्षर किया है इस अविश्वास प्रस्ताव पर. कोई भी पार्टी छोटी नहीं है, कोई भी पार्टी, सारे पार्टियां एक आवाज से कह रही हैं कि आप पक्षपात कर रहे हैं. आपका कर्तव्य बनता है कि बिना पक्षपात से आप सदन चलाएं.
सदन के पूरे मेजॉरिटी मेंबर्स उपराष्ट्रपति जी को ऊपर में पूरा भरोसा है. हम माननीय चेयरमैन का कामकाज से बहुत खुश हैं. ओसीसी, आरपी और कांग्रेस नेतृत्व का तालमेल जब से सामने में आए हैं तो कांग्रेस पार्टी और उनके कुछ साथी बहुत बुरी तरह से तिरमिलाए हुए हैं.
The escalation comes on a day the House was adjourned once again over the Adani versus Soros storm.
One second. I'll come to you. Please. सब लोग बैठे, please.
The BJP on Tuesday came down heavily on the Congress, specifically Sonia Gandhi, accusing her of links with US billionaire George Soros.
The Forum of Democratic Leaders of Asia Pacific, जिसकी को-चेयरपर्सन कांग्रेस पार्टी की वरिष्ठतम नेतृत्व है, महोदया भारत की संप्रभुता पर प्रश्न तो उठाती है, लेकिन साथ ही साथ वो जम्मू कश्मीर को एक सेपरेट स्टेट की एंटिटी के रूप में मानती है.
Hitting back, Congress MP Priyanka Gandhi Vadra accused the BJP of using Soros to avoid a debate on Gautam Adani, who is indicted by a court in the US for alleged securities fraud.
The most ridiculous thing they could come up with. They're talking about some 1994. Nobody has any record of it. I don't know what they're talking. Nobody knows what they're talking about. The only reason they're doing it is they do not want to discuss Adani.
Opposition MPs, led by the Gandhi siblings, staged a protest in Parliament demanding debate on the Adani indictment. After protesting with Modi-Adani mask on Monday, opposition MPs on Tuesday carried bags and wore T-shirts and jackets that read Modi-Adani Bhai Bhai. With the NDA and India bloc turning up the heat, Parliament is caught in the crossfire that is escalating every day. With no big legislation in the pipeline, will the remaining winter session face a washout? Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, so the big questions that we're asking: Parliament under siege, no trust against Dhankhar justified. Adani versus Soros hijacks the winter session clearly with what we've been witnessing in Parliament, and ultimately who is winning the perception war when the Parliament is being held to ransom. Let's cut across to our panelists this evening. Joining me, Sanju Verma, National Spokesperson, Bharatiya Janata Party; Deepak Reddy, Gunapati, TDP Spokesperson; GK Kumar Nayak, Congress MP. Mr. Nayak, let me begin with you. And before we get down to the main issue of the core debate, I am sure you heard in your ally, TMC, we had Sushmita Deb, former MP, current MP, Rajya Sabha, and she made it very clear, Mr. Nayak, that number one, Mamata Banerjee should be leading the alliance where India is concerned, your bloc. Number two, that the TMC wants to focus on issues like what's happening in Bengal, not waste time on other issues. Number three, very clear that they don't want a JPC like you've demanded one. So one of your key ally partners, A, wants to be in your position where the India alliance is concerned, and number two, really wants nothing to do with you as an ally in Parliament.
Hello?
Yes, Mr.
Am I
Nayak.
audible?
Yes, you're audible. Go ahead.
Yeah. It's my above my pay grade to comment on the leadership of the India alliance, but nevertheless, it is always a good sign of democracy that a group of parties come together and discuss about the leadership at different parts in time. So we have had tough elections across the country. The Congress has done well. It has given tough fight to the ruling party. And maybe we have not won the elections the way we would want. That is a different matter. But it is for the leaders of the party to sit together and decide as to who will lead subsequently too. So I think the Congress is well suited, appropriately positioned to lead this alliance. It has the highest vote share, as you have rightly mentioned. It has its presence across the country, and it takes up the most difficult issues and most fundamental issues for this society and this country. We don't hesitate to take up issues of secularism, social fabric of this country, apart from important issues of unemployment, rising price rise, and things like that. So
Mr.
we are
Nayak,
there for everybody.
It's rare that we have, but good to sum it where you said it's above your pay grade. We're going to leave it at that where this issue is concerned. I'm going to bring in Sanju Verma into this conversation. Sanju Verma, there's been, the Parliament has been vacuous, it's been loud, and for taxpayers, it's been obnoxious because every minute wasted has costed the likes of us 2.5 lakh rupees. It's the responsibility of both the government and the opposition to make sure that the Parliament functions, which it's not. Now, all the noise where the Soros or Adani issue is concerned, the BJP has been fixated on the Soros issue. So the question that I ask you is, ultimately, Sanju Verma, it'll come down to proof. Now, the BJP has accused the US deep state and the media platform, OCCRP. The US embassy has very clearly come out and stated that the BJP is malafide in suggesting what it has when it comes down to deep state. Number two, on the other account, the French news outlet Mediapart, which the BJP has cited while making the allegations, has said that the BJP was spreading fake news using its report. What do you make of it? Because you had the US embassy completely negate the charges of the involvement of deep state, where it comes down to the Adani indictment. And then, on the other hand, you've had Mediapart, which says that it's malicious in the way you've twisted their news report.
Preeti, you've asked me a rather lengthy question, and I will answer you very, very pointedly. First and foremost, let me make this very clear for the benefit of your audience. When Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Vadra, and the entire Congress cabal levels allegations that Modi and Adani ek hain, I don't see any primetime anchor saying to Rahul Gandhi or to Sonia Gandhi or to Priyanka Vadra, proof dikhao. But when the BJP levels allegations that George Soros, Sonia Gandhi, George Soros, Rahul Gandhi ke beech mein ek anokha rishta hai, the same primetime anchors say, Sanju Verma, why don't you show proof that there is indeed a link between Soros and Rahul Gandhi? So the limited point is, when BJP makes allegations, BJP is supposed to show proof. Fair and good. But when Congress makes allegations, is the Congress not supposed to show proof? Or will the Congress get a free hand by anchors and by the left liberal cabal simply because Rahul Gandhi belongs to a certain dynasty? Now let me talk about hard proof. First and foremost, forget about what media part is saying, forget about what the US deep state is saying, forget about what the US DOJ is saying. The fact of the matter is it is out in the public domain and nobody from the Congress has negated it. Was Sonia Gandhi for the longest time the co-chair of the Forum for Democratic Leaders in the Asia Pacific, FDLAP? The answer is yes. Has FDLAP been financed by OCCRP? The answer is yes. Has OCCRP been financed by Open Society Foundation? The answer is yes. Does Open Society Foundation belong to George Soros? The answer is yes. So there is a clear link between FDLAP, OCCRP, Open Society Foundation, George Soros, and the buck stops at the doorstep of either Sonia Gandhi or Rahul Gandhi.
Okay.
Again, the other very interesting point, let me finish, Preeti. Rahul Gandhi keeps saying Adani, Adani, Adani. I want to ask Rahul Gandhi one thing. You accuse Narendra Modi of favoring Adani, but Adani Enterprises, the flagship enterprise, came about in 1993 when the Congress was in power in the center. When the Congress was in power in the center in 1995, the Congress government gave Adani land for the Mundra port at the rate of how much? Rupees 10 per square meter. Adani was given land at the rate of rupees 10 per square meter by the erstwhile Congress government, not by Narendra Modi. Wait, Preeti.
No, one second. Ms. Verma, I need to open up the panel. Let's, one second, I'll come back to you. Hold your thought. I will
finish in 20 seconds.
Ma'am, 10 seconds, wrap it up. Because there are other people waiting. Wrap it up and then I'll go across.
I'm finishing, Preeti. Please.
Make your point.
My limited submission to Rahul Gandhi is this. Where were you, Rahul Gandhi, when Adani gave an 85,000 crore worth of thermal power project to Ashok Gehlot when he was the CM of Rajasthan? Or when Adani gave a 47,000 crore coal mining project to Chhattisgarh when Bhupesh Baghel of Congress
was the
fair
CM? Point. Okay.
Or when Adani is
executing the deepest irony in all of this. Also, all right, ma'am, let me cut across back to Mr. Nayak for a rebuttal and we'll bring in Deepak Reddy as well. Just for the benefit of our viewers, the deepest irony in all of this is the same OCCRP which the Congress was quoting this time around. During Rafale, the BJP was quoting. So it's interesting in that. If it's good for the gander, it's good for the goose, but you use it politically the way one would want to. But Mr. Nayak, to bring you in on this, these are grave allegations which the BJP has invoked, where they speak of a nexus between the Gandhis looking to destabilize India, backed by George Soros' foundation. There is also now a pointed charge of Ms. Sonia Gandhi being the co-chair of an organization that was funded by George Soros. And constantly that is being asked of the Congress to clarify. Where is the hesitation? Clarify. What is the Congress stand on this?
There is no hesitation at all. The connection that BJP seeks to make are esoteric and totally intangible. If at all the leaders of different countries come together and have a partnership in seeking the values of democracy across the world, I don't think there is anything wrong with that. Nothing was done in a hush-hush manner or under wraps. It was openly done. There was nothing that is the Congress party needs to be worried about or ashamed of. If somebody wants to conduct a inquiry, one is free to do. The government is there, the power is with them, they can do that kind of inquiry. But what Congress is alleging is very, very serious and clear. It has an impact on the economy of this country. It is a direct allegation about the corporate corruption running into thousands of crores. That corruption raises the prices of electricity tariff across the country, and the benefit to this the company would be in multiple thousand crores. And many times of allegation of corruption that we see, that itself runs into 3,000 crores. And the profit that the company is seeking is tens of thousands of crores. This burden is to be taken by the common man of this country, who is already burdened by a failing economy and rising prices and unemployment. So this is very serious allegation, and this needs to be investigated. We are not calling names, we are not calling anybody anti-national, we are not bringing in different other agencies. We are saying the deal has happened in the country, and the money that has been used is that of the United States of America. An American agency has made an allegation now. That indictment has come, and please inquire into this allegation, because it is not the Americans alone who are now affected. It is the Indian electricity buyer, every common man who is hurt by this kind of a corporate massive corruption of unheard of proportions.
Deepak Reddy, the TDP, of course, a part of the NDA alliance, is a bystander in all that has been witnessed in Parliament. The question, Deepak Reddy, is today, which the opposition also raises, that why is the BJP hiding, or whatever the reports have come in and the indictment of Mr. Adani, because there seems to be a perception that is being created that these are all methods of distraction where you bring up Soros and you don't really want to forget about investigate, even discuss where Adani is concerned in Parliament.
A very good evening, Preeti. Before coming to your point, let me tell you from the state standpoint of Andhra Pradesh, it's become a double whammy. In the state, the opposition parties don't even come to the assembly, but in the center, the opposition parties don't want the parliament to function. So that's the state of affairs, and the people of Andhra Pradesh are quite concerned about what's going on. About 6 months ago, once the results have come out, I've actually come on debate and I've said the India ecosystem is start going to crash after 6 months, and that's what we can see, the cracks happening. And if you remember, if you wind the clock back and remember what Rahul Gandhi was commenting after the election results came out, he was happy with the numbers, not because they are in a comfortable position, but he felt the numbers were good enough. These were the words. Now he said that we have enough numbers to stall the parliament. So it's absolutely very clear that they are not interested in conducting the business of the House. Okay. So I have a couple of questions. Let's take what happened on Monday. On n number of times, time was given, chance was given, and they have stalled the parliament, and adjournments were given, and they didn't allow it to run. Since they have made up their mind not to run the parliament, the straight question what the people of India are asking are, you're taking so many allowances in salary and perks. Why are you taking that? Right from your airfare, the MPs are drawing. They're getting a whole lot of perks. They are answerable for this to the people of India. And the second question what I have to ask is, other than Adani, are there no other issues in India? Like today, the people of Delhi are absolutely concerned about the pollution, and some of the MPs...
But Mr. Reddy, while I bring in Mr. Nayak and Sanju Verma back into the conversation, the fact is, yes, there are multiple issues other than Adani. But why shouldn't the issue of Adani be discussed? It's for you, Mr. Reddy.
Preeti, there is absolutely laid down procedures in the parliament. I mean, all the senior parliamentarians know that. There is a business advisory committee. They can sit, they can talk, and they can come to an understanding and take the parliament forward. But they don't want to do it.
All right, but this is also what has been challenged right now, Mr. Reddy, where the opposition is concerned. And I'll bring in Mr. Nayak for a quick rebuttal, go back to Sanju Verma on this. And that, ma'am, it's 2 against 1. I'm quoting exactly what Sanju Verma tells me. I'll go back to Mr. Nayak for a quick rebuttal, and I'm coming right back to you after that. Okay, so Mr. Nayak, you have now moved a no-confidence motion against the Rajya Sabha chair, the Vice President, Mr. Dhankhar, even though you don't quite have the numbers. You say he's partisan. Why do you think he's partisan?
The Honorable
Mr. Nayak, there's a problem with your audio line. We're going to try and connect it. There's a problem with your audio line. We're going to try and reconnect to you. But Sanju Verma, let me turn this around and ask you the same question. The opposition today moved the no confidence notice. They don't have the numbers clearly, so this is going to be a symbolic token, no confidence motion. But what they accuse him of is grave, and I'll tell you why. Because they accuse him of bias, being partisan. The latest being, and this is problematic, why? His decision to allow Treasury benches members to raise the Congress-Soros link issue in the upper house, where he constantly has denied the issue of Adani on the floor of the Rajya Sabha. If you look at it from the outside, would you not think this is partisan?
You know, Preeti, first and foremost, let me make one thing very clear to you. I love coming on your shows. Sanju Verma often says it's 2 versus 1. Sanju Verma does not care even if you get 20 panelists. It can be 20 versus 1. I don't care. I know I'm extremely capable. But I constantly am on shows where the anchor behaves like a proxy Congress Darbari.
Ma'am, are you trying to suggest something? If you are, just be clear.
No, I'm not.
Then just be clear. Then just don't drop statements just to make brownie points on social media.
Let me finish now.
If you have an accusation, be very clear. Otherwise, don't say things which can be read either way.
Can you hold your horses? Can you hold your horses?
You have made one second.
Thank you,
Miss Verma. You have made an allegation. Either substantiate it or don't make it. I think I have every right to say that as the moderator of a debate.
Let me finish, Preeti.
I have every right to say that as a moderator of this debate.
I have every right to say what I want to say. Can I now finish speaking, please?
If you're making allegations, substantiate them and then make it be very pointed.
I did not name you. Stop getting rattled, Preeti.
I'm not getting rattled, ma'am. But let's not say something just so that it trends on social media.
Can I finish?
Make your point.
Preeti Choudhry, can I speak
Make
now?
your point.
Thank you. Yes. Don't get rattled, Preeti.
I'm not, madam. I am not. All I'm saying is if you're saying something, then say it. Otherwise, don't insinuate. Please, go ahead.
Fighting me. You're the anchor. You're not the Congress panelist. You're the anchor, not the Congress panelist. Stop fighting with me.
No, ma'am. I am not fighting with you. You're the one who started this. So if you are making insinuations, be very clear.
Can I make my point?
Please do, but be very clear.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes. I'm very clear about everything. Now let me start and then let me finish with a flourish because I will substantiate what I have to say with hard data. Preeti, I always say that the proof of the pudding is in the eating. The Congress says that, Jagdeep Dhankhar is not neutral. The Congress has a problem with Om Birla. The Congress has a problem with the judiciary. They had a problem just because Prime Minister Modi went to former CJI Chandrachud's house during Ganpati. Basically, the Congress has a problem with just about everything because it has been debilitatingly defeated at the hustings. In the last 3 Lok Sabha elections put together, the BJP's tally is 827. The Congress's tally is 195. Under Rahul Gandhi, the Congress has lost how many elections? 89. 89 elections. And what was the Congress's strike rate in Maharashtra? 15.68%. Out of 102 seats that they contested, they won only 16 seats. That is the Congress's track record. But I'll come to the moot point. Please go back and check in history since you love facts and so do I. The Congress and the opposition asked for a debate on CAA. The current government, the Modi government agreed. Rahul Gandhi, shoot and scoot. UCC पर debate मांगा, मोदी सरकार राजी हो गई. Rahul Gandhi, shoot and scoot. Delhi Ordinance Bill पर debate मांगी, half the opposition walked out, shoot and scoot. Doklam पर debate मांगी, मोदी सरकार agreed, shoot and scoot. Galwan पर Rahul Gandhi asked for a debate, Modi government agreed, opposition shoot and scoot. Pegasus पर debate मांगी, Rahul Gandhi ने, Modi government agreed, Rahul Gandhi shoot and scoot. Ram Mandir पर debate मांगी, Rahul Gandhi and Darbaris ने, Modi government agreed, opposition shoot and scoot. Manipur पर debate मांगी, Gaurav Gogoi even moved no confidence motion, and when the Prime Minister started speaking on Manipur, Gaurav Gogoi, Rahul Gandhi shoot and scoot. Article 370 पर debate मांगी opposition ने.
I'm going to bring in Mr. Naik to respond to it. We finally have him back. Mr. Naik, I want to pull you in this. A no confidence motion against the chair of the Rajya Sabha, even despite not having the numbers, limited to tokenism. What's the reason?
It's absolutely clear that the partisan attitude of the chair is not in the right traditions of parliament, and this needs to be highlighted and brought to the notice of the country. We may not have the numbers, but we definitely want to make a point that this is not the way the house should be run. Today, the whataboutery that the spokesperson is doing and what happened in the Lok Sabha today, all this is very, very hilarious. If it were not to be very tragic, it would have been hilarious. But today it is not so. It is quite debilitating for the democracy. What happened in the first week in Lok Sabha is very clear. In fact, the government, the Treasury bench, which needs to be accommodative and to be very continuing the parliamentary traditions, it should have allowed the debate. But forget about allowing the debate. Even to set a date, they took entire week and ensured that the parliament did not function. Even after coming to an agreement about the dates, 13th and 14th, in the second week also, the work is not happening. On the first day, we had some business done. And subsequently, we have just started Soros and such esoteric issues. And you can see the way the Lok Sabha was conducted today. It began with a pep talk by the Honorable Chair about the behavior of the LOP and the Congress party members in the precincts of Lok Sabha. Soon after he closed his talk, who got up and created ruckus in the Lok Sabha? It is the members of the BJP who did that, and the Lok Sabha speaker did not object to that. He immediately adjourned the House.
So the accusation is that the Treasury benches are not allowing the House to function. Ms. Verma, I'm going to, 1 second, ma'am. There is your ally, Mr. Reddy, in this panel. Follow Alliance Dharma. Okay, Mr. Reddy, to bring you in for a final comment onto this. The sheer fact of the accusations that have been made, number one, that the Treasury benches are not allowing the Parliament to function. Number two, you have a no-confidence motion that has been moved against the chair of the Rajya Sabha. The latest issue that they have raised is that the chair is partisan, primarily this time around allowing the Treasury benches to raise the Soros Congress link, but denying the opposition to raise the Adani link. Do you think it's fair?
Preeti, let me be very clear. The people of India don't care much about the Congress allegation about this, the chairman, Mr. Dhankhar, but they care about the problems what they are facing. They want work done and they want the MPs to address the issue. If they want to go ahead with the same attitude, at least they should have the integrity to say that we will not spend people's money and they should not be taking all the perks what they are taking. So the people of India are really concerned because a similar episode has happened in Andhra Pradesh Assembly. The MLAs haven't come. So this is not going down well. So I hope they realize, if not in the coming elections, they would not get the basic numbers what they're getting. And it is absolutely clear that the India ecosystem has lost confidence in Rahul Gandhi's ability. And you can see cracks in the India ecosystem.
On that account, you're bang on, because right now, like I pointed out, there's a meeting on at Sharad Pawar's residence, where Mr. Arvind Kejriwal is gone, and discussions on possibly the India Alliance leadership. All right, I appreciate all our panelists for joining us. This is going to be a debate which will practically ensue through the winter session, which till now has been a washout. Once again, a reminder to our viewers, every minute that we lose where the parliament doesn't function, the taxpayers lose 2.5 lakh rupees. This is what you pay taxes for sometimes. Terrible. With that news coming in right now, the leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi and AICC General Secretary Priyanka Gandhi are meeting the families of the Sambal victims at 10 Janpath, New Delhi. Earlier, the government of Uttar Pradesh had denied permission to travel and visit the families at Sambal. Congress MP Imran Masood is also present in this meeting. So, Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi couldn't get to Sambal, but it seems that the families who suffered in Sambal are in the national capital at 10 Janpath meeting the Gandhis. With these visuals, let's quickly move on to our next debate, which has clearly led to a massive social media storm. The death, tragic death, of 38-year-old AI techie Atul Subhash has sparked a debate on divorce laws. Atul ended his life on December 9th in Bangalore, leaving behind a 1.5-hour-long video and a 24-page suicide note. In this, he accused his wife, Nikita, her mother, and even a judge of pushing him to take this extreme step. He claimed his wife used their child to extort money from him and that he faced multiple legal cases filed by her. Subhash demanded justice, asking for his ashes to be dumped outside the court in a gutter if denied. This tragic incident has now sparked outrage on social media, with many questioning systematic biases in family disputes. All right, let's cut across to our guest this evening. Joining me, Deepika Narayan Bhardwaj. She's a filmmaker and is an avid activist when it comes down to men's rights, and Mrinalini Deshmukh, who is an advocate. Deepika, you've been very vocal about this case, and it's deeply tragic, pointing to possibly where in this country divorce laws tilted towards women, but there is a historical context to that as well, Deepika.
Yes, there is no doubt that there is a historical context, and anybody who speaks for men, we do not want that there shouldn't be laws for women, but we want that there should be laws for men as well. And the laws that have been made for protection of women should not be weaponized. As we speak, Preeti, just today also, Supreme Court has once again said that divorce laws, 498A is being used as a weapon against husband. And this was a case where man has just taken recourse to a legal provision of having a divorce, and after he filed for divorce, the woman slapped him and his entire family with these dowry and cruelty charges. And this we see happening day in, day out. In case of Atul, it was just not 498A, it was 498A, 377, 506, 406, Domestic Violence Act, 125 provision. He was facing 9 cases in total. This man had to travel from Bangalore to Jaunpur, thousands of kilometers away, while doing his job 120 times in the last 2 years, while his wife was working in Gurgaon and not even staying in Jaunpur. So, to what extent can a man be harassed and tortured, not just by the person that he is fighting these disputes against, but by the system where a judge asked him to pay 5 lakhs to her for a favorable order in a maintenance case. And when he refused to bow down this corruption, she asked him to pay 40,000 rupees per month for a 2-year-old child whose face he has not even seen. The harassment is to that extent of men that they break down. Preeti, we talk to men every single day, giving them hope to fight against this system. But inside our own heart, we also question ourselves that what are we giving them hope for? Because at the end of the day, even if they prove their innocence, they're not going to get anything out of it, while the woman, despite subjecting this person to so much of harassment and torture, continues to have the sympathy of the court.
So I have a very unpopular opinion on this, and this is just limited to my personal opinion because it's deeply tragic. I can't even fathom what the family of Atul has gone through, and what he's detailed is deeply tragic and disturbing. But having said that, before we cast aspersions on the wife, I would reckon a proper investigation does need to take place and is warranted before we question her, because social media right now, viewers, is exploding, where it comes down to going after the wife, asking that she be sacked, inciting people to take action against her. There is no investigation. We don't yet know the side of the story of the wife. We at India Today have repeatedly tried to get in touch with her. She has refused to speak with us, but let's wait for an investigation. Deepika, you wanted to make a point? Make a point. I'll quickly go to our other
I will quickly just say, Preeti, this investigation and need for probe is very valid and relevant. But at the same time, Preeti, why there is so much of outrage? Because just recently, there was a female pilot who died by suicide. There was no suicide note, nothing. But the man was immediately picked up and arrested. And we see this happening day in, day out. When a man is accused in such cases like this,
the wife has been arrested, so has her family been, as a abetment to suicide. That arrest has been made. So it's not that one case has been treated differently than the other. But Mrinalini Deshmukh, there is a sense, especially in urban pockets right now, which seem to suggest that we've reached a situation where now, after decades of discrimination where women are concerned, the tables are being switched. Is it really true? Are our divorce laws, because dowry laws have been, and even I actually believe still should be, in favor of women, because only last year about 8,500 women took their own lives, and a number of, I think, 3,500 women were killed where dowry is concerned. But where divorce laws comes into question, do you believe they are tilted towards women and discriminate against men?
So good evening. Thank you for having me over here for an extremely important socio-legal issue. Having been in this profession for over 2 decades, I can surely say that there has been a historical context to this. Number one, yes, that it was basically a patriarchal society. Laws were needed to empower women so that equality became a reality in the real sense of the word and not only on paper. But having said these things, and the right and the need to uplift the women, especially in marital laws, to give them their rights and whatever their entitlements are, is obviously a social and a legal obligation. But what has happened, and what Deepika says is quite true, that these laws, which are for the betterment, for the welfare, and to empower the women, have been weaponized by certain section of the women, as a result of which there has been gross abuse and misuse. This fact has been noted by the Honorable Supreme Court of India in various cases which came before the court. So what is the answer? What is the remedy? Should a wife not get what she is entitled to? Should a husband be scot-free and let him go? Or is there to be some kind of I would say a structure, or some kind of a methodology in which these things are to be done? And for this, I think we need to have an overhauling of the matrimonial laws. There is no clear-cut definition of what an alimony should be. There is no clear-cut definition of what maintenance for a child or for the mother has to be. It is left to the discretion of the court, and it is also left to the courts to decide what they feel appropriate in these cases. It's never so like this if you see the laws of the other countries which are there. Number one. Number two, there are no specific rights given to the women as far as if there is a 20-year-old marriage. These days you hear so much about grey divorces. There are no specific property rights given to the women also. So we need to look into this. But this is something that can happen only with the changes being brought about by the legislature. That does not give any person, any woman, any family of the woman to drive a man to such a point that he has to end his life. You cannot make men and fathers as beggars in the court asking for a few crumbs because the woman has the custody of the child. Now, unless there are specific laws, unless there is a question of joint parenting, joint guardianship, joint responsibilities of the parents, these issues with regards to the child custody cases are going to be there. Unless there is a clear-cut definition as to what should be the entitlement of a wife, and what happens if she abuses the law and if she misuses the law. I'm doing a lot of cases where 498A cases filed by the men, by the women, has been dismissed by the court because there has been no evidence. What happens? The woman gets scot-free. What happens to the husband and to the family? They are still being targeted that they were the criminals, that they were the accused in a criminal
ladies, so
trial.
I think the best way to leave it at is
to bring about some balance.
It's time to bring about some balance and also relook at.
No, I think give me 60 seconds. So we need to overhaul the laws. We need to have a realistic view. We need to give the judges who are deciding these matters some kind of a formula for them to do. And we as lawyers, last one sentence, should be responsible enough to ensure that we don't misguide our clients. We do not prey upon their kind of,
I'm running out of time.
State of mind that they have, and act as responsible. I understand.
Well, ladies, I'm going to end it at that. I apologize. I'm cutting you short there, but we're going to leave it at that. Time that there's a relook at divorce laws in the country. And number two, may Atul's soul rest in peace, and a heart goes out to his family at this moment. But also, before we start targeting his wife, let's wait. Let an investigation be done into this case. We're going to take a quick break, but we do leave you with these visuals. Thank you for watching. Leave you with these visuals coming up of Indian deaf athletes ending their campaign at the 2024 Asia Pacific Deaf Games in Kuala Lumpur on a high note. They won 55 medals, including 8 golds and 18 silver medals, and finished on 5th position on the medal tally. Sports Minister Mansukh Mandavia felicitated the athletes in New Delhi. Prime Minister Modi also congratulated the Indian contingent for their historic performance. Leave you with these visuals. Thank you for watching.